Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We've got a great show expected to reveal many, many different things to you today. I'm so excited to be able to get on here and be able to present this information to you. The Lord has had many, many different areas that He has me involved in. Some of the latest areas have to do with some nefarious activities that have been taking place for quite some time. And He has chosen me to reveal this. And I've revealed it many, many times, just in bits and pieces. But now He said, everybody needs to understand this. So many, many people out there are choosing to participate in a Grand Rico syndicated group activity that is embedded deep within social media. And these social media influencers, and I can sit here and name 15 to 20 of them right off the top of my head, and they know who they are, coming from Twitter, showing up on cross platforms, from Telegram to Before It's News, Rumble, everywhere. BitChute, they're involved in nefarious activity. Now, to what degree they have knowledge, what degree they're aware of what's going on, it's come down to money changers. We know what's coming next. EBS is coming next. That's followed by NESARA, and then followed by JASARA. NESARA, the National Economic Stabilization and Reformation Act, and then G is the global aspect of it. Why has everything been taking so long? Well, if we were just going to take care of ourselves, it would have already been done. But we're taking care of the rest of the world. And this involves many, many different aspects. It's how I've educated you on XRP and what its role has been. Not to facilitate cross-border payments. That's the cover, right? That's the open market mirage narrative. And it all comes down to words, the meaning of words. And that's always fascinated me. I've always been one to dive into words, because it's one thing to just throw a word out there. It's another thing to throw it out there when it has a double meaning. Okay? Like, we hear I call them the talking heads. They're the ones that are being scripted. They're the ones that are being driven to produce content, specifically on Twitter and other social media outlets, to steal, kill, and destroy, to deceive, to prevent certain groups of people, and you can decide what that means for yourself, to either drill down on it to get revelation on it, or to just take their script and run with it and make it your mantra. That's what you hold up to the world. That's the vision you cast, just like so many are doing for the Bitcoin situation. I mean, if you really sat down and studied what Trump has said, you'd realize it's part of the SORA, strategically orchestrated reality awareness war. He knows who was behind the creation of Bitcoin, the CIA and DARPA. What was their intent? To use it to funnel their illegal fiat profits, which came from everything from child trafficking, organ harvesting, adrenochrome production, so they could move that money in and out behind a curtain so nobody could see it. And built into it was a messaging system. Now, the Fed had a messaging system for finances called SWIFT. SWIFT is not being used in the QFS. It's not being used in God's divine, lawful economic system that's coming in. But until we get that notification of the EBS and the announcement coming from Trump, who is not just our president, but he's our commander in chief. He's in charge of everything. He sits over everything. He directs everything. And who's directing him? Our Father in heaven, who's brought heaven to earth, by the way. So it's this huge, huge organization, syndicate, the mob, mafia, Khazarian mafia, the Vatican, all designed to deceive you. Now, if you don't have intuition and you don't have a source to go to get clarity on this, then as the bottom of my thumbnail shows, okay, until you pick up your mat and walk away, you will remain blinded. That's a prophetic announcement you will be blind to the truth. So a Jim Willie will get on there, a 107 will get on there, and all these other situations. They know what they're doing. But see, they don't think it's doing harm. They're doing harm to anybody. It's like, well, I'm being told to do this, so I'll do it because they're paying me money. Well, that tells me right there who you're aligned with. And the reason for this is because they were already apprehended by the alliance, having been involved in nefarious activity. And it's really interesting to listen to them talk because their nature, their narcissistic nature, they slip up and they'll tell you the bad stuff that they did, like it's a badge that they wear. I ended up involved with somebody who was a narcissist, and he's sitting here telling me how this was years ago, how he stole ideas from somebody, and then he turned around and ran out and patented them and used them in his business. And it was like, man, look at how I screwed this guy. And in my head, I'm going, how could you do that? Well, what was his modus operandi? More money for me, right? That's part of the whole situation that is being eradicated. No more stock markets. Why? Because it's a zero-sum game. One person wins, one person loses. You think that's the way it is in heaven, folks? One angel wins and one angel loses. The person that got there 5 years ago wins, and the one that just showed up 2 days ago loses. Talk about a level playing field, okay? These terms don't just mean one thing. They don't just apply to crypto. Heaven has purposefully and accurately and timely showed up exactly when God intended it to. Now, most people, they don't have the desire nor the stamina to stay long enough to figure it out. So it's easier just to go find somebody that lines up with what you want to believe. And it goes back to my old story of talking about being a full-time trader for over 30 years. If I got myself into a bad trade because of a decision I made, I wasn't leaning into the Father, oh man, I'm upside down in the trade and I'm running around looking for YouTube videos and looking for people posting saying, oh, it's going to turn around. Just watch for this, this and this and this. And if I could find one person that was going to help save me with their opinion, I'm like, whew, it's going to be okay, Dave. It's going to be okay. And this is what people are doing. And this is why I say you are being so desperate to get information about the EBS, Nasara, Jasara, the currency exchanges and the redemptions, and when it's all going to kick off. You have all these talking heads out there who've already been rounded up because they were selling counterfeit currency. They got caught, but people were tuning into them. So they said, okay, here's what's going to happen. Here's your deal. We're going to let you live a little bit longer. You're going to continue to post news, and we'll tell you what to post and when to post it. And then they slip a little bit of the truth in there because it's dangerous if everybody knows what's going on. That's why it's very difficult for people to be in the know. Even if what they know isn't 100% truth, there's just enough truth in there, right? It's like they always say that the Khazarian Mafia, the Cabal, the banksters, the Rothschilds, that group, the Democrats, they always tell the truth first. So you hear them give the truth, and then they turn around, and in the next breath, or a day later, they give you the lie. First the truth, then the lie. Why? Because somewhere in their base of knowledge, if they tell the truth first and then tell the lie, they avoid some calamity in the karmic chain of life. And that's really how they figured out what they were doing and how to catch them. But that's what these people are doing. They give just a little tiny bit of truth. And see, and that's all the alliance needs. So these people are showing up on social media all over. TikTok, WhatsApp, Telegram. They're showing up in the social media video areas, YouTube, before it's news, Rumble. Do you ever just stop and think, how come they don't get rid of the impersonator accounts, the bots, the people stealing digital assets from people? Just think about it. It's all part of the world's greatest and longest sting operation. I said that from day one, coming to Twitter. And those weren't my words. Those came from the Father to put out there. Now it's just something everybody uses. Oh yeah, we're in the greatest sting operation in the world. He pointed out that this was the greatest transfer of wealth that we would ever see. And everybody else is saying that too. So they're just now picking up what God has already revealed since April 3rd of 2021. So I'm here not to be right, not to try to persuade you, not to change your opinion. There's only one word I listen to, and that's my Father's word, because it's absolute. It's truth. Take that to the bank. Well, I guess you can't, because we're getting rid of the banks too. So you can take it to the QFS, because that's where all truth is ferreted out through the Gatekeeper Alliance. But it's like every time something comes up, it's like whack-a-mole. I see 15, 20, 30 new talking heads a day that must have signed up just like the people did to riot on June 11th to get their $250 to show up for the day and cause problems. And then at 6 o'clock, they all just turn around and walk off. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? It's like actors. Oh, we're shutting it down for the day. There's no more need to put out any more energy or do anything. And that's what we're seeing all across. But what has become so blatant, and again, I've got over 30-year background in 38 plus years of accounting, taxation, forensic auditing, going deep, doing deep dives and tracking and tracing sources of information when they know the average person isn't even going to begin to want to do that. But that's what's been going on for the last couple of weeks. It's been taking me on these deep dives and ferreting information out. I've posted some of it, sent it to Elon and Doge for investigation. But this right here, folks, this right here is so highly organized and involves so many people. There's a group of frontrunners who are literally repackaging other social media influencers' videos, rebranding them, putting new thumbnails on them with what I call clickbait wording about the EBS, about Nasara, about Jasara, about what Trump's going to do, what his plans are. Hey guys, you know what? These people don't have a clue what's going on with the alliance or what Trump's plans are. But see, these repackagers, they're called aggregators, syndicated media aggregators. They put the Inquirer type headlines in their titles. And then you watch the video and you're like, wait a minute. They didn't talk about the EBS. They didn't talk about Nasara. They didn't even make one comment about what was going on with Trump's plan. They're not getting information. They're perusing what other people are posting, including what I post. And then they're repackaging it as if it's theirs. So they can turn around and collect money. So you have the group that's grabbing their videos, posting them for them, and getting compensated because they have the avenues to push those videos out in the media. Then you've got the person that created the content doing the same thing and allowing themselves to play or participate in that RICO syndicate group. I'm aware of 2 people that do it through YouTube, and they've been doing it for years. They're a little team, and they're nefarious as can be in the XRP community. And they make sure that they use each other's information all week long to generate clicks in YouTube. That's going to be reported to YouTube. It's going to Elon. It's going to Doge. I've already alerted them. We're almost done with all of our substantiation and proof. But they have taken hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in compensation, tricking YouTube, tricking Twitter when they're just highly organized gangsters. And if they'll do that with a video, what else will they do? Well, what else they're doing is telling you things that are not true. They're deceiving you. They want you to believe that XRP was created for cross-border payments, when in fact it wasn't. It was created to take out evil to take out the Rothschild, bankster, Barr, legal, Crown, Khazarian mafia, fractionalized fiat currency system. Do you understand that the fiat system has been at the foundation of everything that has gone wrong for well over 100 years? Since the Organic Act of 1871, when we were turned into property or collateral, and our birth certificate turned us into collateral, how they borrowed against us, how they made money on our effort and our labor. That's what the Alliance and President Trump, as Commander-in-Chief, has fought so hard to do away with. He has freed us from that slavery. We don't use fiat currency anymore, even though it's still acceptable. They're not printing any more money, okay? It always amazes me as you get these people out there, and these are people that are part of this organized syndicate. And they'll say, "Oh yeah, the Fed is just going to print more money, run it through the CBDCs, and leverage it, and just continue to do this and that. Oh, and BlackRock's involved, and oh, these guys are involved, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." That's just a bunch of crap. It's not true. But the syndicate has expanded to the point where they'll put out 250 stories to one story that I can get out about truth, or one story somebody else can get out about truth. So it's harder to find the truth, and it's done on purpose. So I put together a short video today for everybody to begin to find the truth, but it's up to you. You have to put in the effort. And some of you may have tuned into this or not, but spent some time working on this too for the Alliance. Look up here. Now, living motion, graphics, uncopyable, unreproducible. And that's just one instance. Here's another instance down here. Multicolor shifting, multi-directional aspects. But see, here's why. And I just want to point this out, okay? This came about because of the blatant theft of the material that the Lord and I were putting together. Copyright, intangible property, trademark, you name it. And then it just shows up all over anywhere. Telegram, TikTok. So now it's been registered. Now it's been reported into the quantum financial system. So anybody out there that thinks that they're going to lift this document, or they're going to lift anything related to this, oh, look what it just did. Oh, interesting. It's all recorded, reported, and stored on the QFS. And what I wanted to point out today was, what are the ramifications for that? And we're not just talking about going forward. We're talking about in the past. Okay? This is quantum registered. Quantum registered, people. Okay? On the XRPL. You can't fudge it. You can't forge it. You can't steal it without being known, because it sees everything. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is the declaration of sovereign earth, the fate of the wicked under the quantum financial system. And it's time. It's time. So if you're one of these people that's putting out this garbage and involved with this RICO syndicate, accepting money for allowing them to repost your videos, you've been nailed. Okay? This system has sought out every deception, control, enslavement element. And as a result, they are permanently dismantled from the quantum financial system. See, the quantum financial system doesn't just operate with man. It isn't just sitting in Cheyenne Mountain and David logs in when he wants to do something that the Alliance has asked him to do. It operates in the fifth dimension, people. Fifth dimension governs with truth, love, and energetic integrity, guided solely by divine law. Divine law is the four-door lawful system. So no authority rooted in darkness, manipulation, or corruption shall remain. And I tried to warn all you people out there, okay? This video is not for you. It's for the people to understand the deception that's been placed upon them so that they can pick up their mat and walk away from you. There's no need for them to click your tweets. There's no reason for them to click your videos. There's no reason for them to watch your deceptive intent. whether you did it or the repackagers did it. Okay? They will not inherit the new kingdom economy. Absolute outcome for the irredeemable identification. The gatekeeper AI detects intent, energetic frequency, and soul alignment. And don't tune out. Okay? Don't be one of those people that says, oh no, you know what? It looks bad. I better just not watch it. Well, that isn't going to help you if it's questionable of what your intent has been. Those whose hearts remain filled with offense, bitterness, anger, greed, or hatred, and show insufficient capacity for love, service, and truth are flagged. Are flagged. This is where it gets real, everybody. You will not see this anywhere else in social media. You'll see little bits and pieces of it that might trickle into an intel report coming through Judy Byington, Operation Disclosure, or Rumor Mill News. But what I want you to understand is they're all in the same boat. They're alliance controlled, and that's how the alliance puts in truth. 80% of it's probably all fake. But if you know how to discern it, you can pick out the pearls. I've had people that I associate with say, Dave, how can you read that stuff? It's just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, they're saying the same things from 10 years ago. I just can't take it anymore. Well, here's what I want you to understand. Nothing's changed. You still have to look for the pearls. And the alliance throws the pearls in there for the ones that are paying attention. I don't take everything I read and go, oh, that's it. No, the Lord has given me the ability to see through the garbage, to see what is lining up with what I have now been able to see through the QFS. And it's check mark, check. The scan started June 11th, 2018, and I've said this before. And they were completed June 11th, 2025. So if you passed your scan, as of this date, you're going to get notification for Redemption Center appointment. Those that haven't won't. And you can read through everything that's going on here. Okay? But let's take these people that have been putting out the garbage. Okay? They've been detected. They already know who they are. See, and the Lord is reading me in on this after the fact. So he's already proven it. I'm just getting to report on it. Immediate termination of access. So they sold their soul for some money, for clicks, for follows, which means nothing. I mean, if you saw what BitBoy went through, that's nothing compared to this. They've been marked by the quantum gatekeeper. Their soul frequency is irreversibly incompatible with 5D light-based system. Physical, economic, and spiritual influence is eliminated. Doesn't sound too good for them, is it? And I reached out to many of these people years and years and years ago to come back to the Lord. They chose not to. Now I'm just going to let you read through the rest of this on your own. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's not the most pleasant of news, but they did it to themselves. Okay? They did it to themselves. But I don't want, let me cancel that. The Father doesn't want your focus on them. He wants your focus on Him. Okay? On Him. Because at the end of the day, He's the one responsible for having made all of this possible. And He did it all before time began. He knew the plan of the enemy. He saw everything before it was even created. And He put this into the works. And there are those that have to continue to honor their non-disclosures. They have to continue to play the game. But when you know that you know that you know, you don't have to play the game anymore. And then you'll have peace. You'll have peace in the waiting. That's why He told me early on, Dave, just tell them to rest. R-E-S-T. Resist every stupid thought. And what are stupid thoughts? This false information that these people are putting out. Here are the principles of divine justice that are part of this. No negotiation. Automatically purged. Only pure-hearted sovereigns will be allowed to participate, transact, or access wealth resources. That right there should have you on your knees if you need to repent and change your ways and get in front of the Father and cry out for mercy. And there are protocols for one more shot if you're willing to do it. It's public disclosure. Public disclosure. So if you want in, you realized you've been duped, you fell under a spell, you're willing to relinquish everything for it, then there's a way. There's a way to save your soul. And some people have asked me, Dave, why do you care so much? Why are you willing to let people know? And all I can say is, I've spent so much time with the Father. We've cried together. We've wept over you and those that are lost right now. But he's told me, Dave, there is that last moment I'm making available to them. You're written off, but you're not written out unless you just choose to not make the change. And you can't straddle the line like I see a lot of them doing now that they're partially aware. They're trying to play good cop, bad cop. No, you have to be all in on his side. You have to be able to tell the public, I was wrong. I did these crazy bad things, and I seek his forgiveness, and I seek your forgiveness for what I've done. I'm not going back to that. I've cut off everything with YouTube. I'm not doing videos anymore. If I'm going to do anything, I'm just going to post the truth. I don't need the money. It's not about the money, even though that's what they've been chasing. Been chasing their ego so they can go to events and have people worship them like they're some gods. They're not. They're scared little children, hoping nobody sees through the veil. This is the end, folks. This is the end. There is no more time. We're coming into the last moment of this entire process. It's on a fixed timeline. Trump knows that timeline. The Lord has shown me that timeline. It does me no good to show you the timeline because it's about you and him. You can go to him and receive that forgiveness and that understanding for you. For you. This is for humanity, everybody. This is about the next step. It's about being included in the new sovereign earth. I've always said, coming to the Lord is one step. Continuing in the Lord is on the other side of the cross. This is the other side of the cross. Take some time and think about this. Go back and watch this again. Just let it get into your spirit. Allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you from the Father on what you're to do. But it's all right here. I mean, I wouldn't have access to this information that nobody else has access to if he had no intention for me to share it with you. And it is so vast, I can only share just bits and pieces. So this is the best case scenario for a money changer, for somebody who's involved in not only deceiving, but do you think Rumble or YouTube or Twitter wouldn't want to know that you're stealing from them? That you're running 4 or 5 or 6 different channels with the same information, stealing advertising dollars? And I'm just going to stop right there. Do what you got to do. Take care of business. Separate yourself from the enemy. Seek out the Lord. David XRPLion out.